Hello everyone, I am Monika Bhushan and today we are starting lecture number 5 of numerical methods. So in today's class we are going to see the application of interpolation. Okay, in last classes we have seen Newton's forward interpolation, Newton's backward interpolation, and in today's class we are going to see the application of interpolation in our day-to-day life. So to understand today's questions, I will suggest you that if you have not seen the concept and the questions based on forward and backward interpolation, then first you see those previous lectures, then only it will be easier to understand. Okay, now we are going to start the question because we have discussed the interpolation in details. So the very first question is, from the following table, find the number of students who have obtained less than 45 marks, and the second is between 40 and 45 marks. Okay, and the table is given here. They have said that from the following table, and the table has two entities. One is the marks and the second is number of students. Okay, so if we will little bit analyze the table, that the first row of the table contains the marks and the range of marks is between 30 to 80. Fine, no? That means the minimum mark that the table contains is 30 and the maximum marks the table contains is 80. And this table is actually divided into few columns. So very first column is having the range of the marks between 30 to 40. Second column has the range of marks between 40 to 50 and then so on. And the second row of the table says that total 31 students have got the marks between 30 to 40. Similarly, the second column says that total 42 students have got the marks between 40 to 50 and then so on. Now they are asking that find the number of students who have obtained less than 45 marks. We actually right now don't know that how many students have scored less than 45 marks. Okay, if somebody will ask that how many students have scored less than 40 marks, then what we will say? So if less than 40 marks we are talking about, that means the table starts with the marks 30. Fine, no, we don't know, or maybe the table does not contain the entry of the marks before 30. Okay, so that information is not given to us. So for us, or the table says that the minimum marks is 30 and then between 30 to 40 total 31 students have scored. That means we can rewrite this range as less than 40. Is that okay or not? That means what I am saying, that if the column says that the marks obtained between 30 to 40 can be said as less than 40 marks, and the minimum is, we are assuming that minimum is 30. We are not sure that what about your maybe 20, 29 and those marks. So less than 40 marks, total 31 students have scored. That is 100% sure, straightforward. Okay. Now, what about this 40 to 50? This column says that total 42 students have scored marks between 40 to 50. That means we can say that these 42 students, maximum they have got marks 50, but the minimum marks what they have got is 40. Fine, no? That means if I say that some marks, this is your maybe M. So the marks is between 40 to 50, and we can include 40 here also because here less than 40. So 40 marks we are including in this column. That means these 42 students have scored marks either 40, 41, 42 till 49. The same way we can say in this third column that total 51 students have scored marks less than 60, that is sure. But these marks, if I'll say that marks M dash here, so these marks are actually greater than or equal to 50, because 50 we are not including in this previous column. So 51 students have scored marks either 50, 51, 52 till 59 and so on. Fine. But can I say, by looking at this second column, can I say that how many students have scored marks less than 50? Just for the simplicity we are saying, because the first column is straightforward. First column we are saying that total 31 students have scored marks less than 40. And we are assuming that the minimum marks is 30. Okay, now can I know that how many students have scored marks less than 50? So to get less than 50 marks, I need to add these many students also. Fine. Because this range is from 40 to 50. But I'm interested in knowing how many students have scored less than 50. That means we have to include this 31 also, number of students 31 plus 42. Okay. So these many students have scored marks less than 50. These are students, number of students, and this is the marks. Fine. Similarly, by looking at this column, can I ask that how many students have scored marks less than 60? Okay, so less than 60 marks, how many students have scored? For sure that 51 students have scored less than 60, but they are between 50 to 60. But this column also gets included because these marks are also less than 60, correct? No, so we are adding this 42 also. Similarly, this column, this number of students will also get added because these students also have got marks less than 60. Fine, and we will keep on moving in this way. So if somebody will ask that how many students have scored less than 45 marks, so in that case it will be much easier to rebuild this table, but the table will contain the entry as marks obtained less than 40, marks obtained less than 50, marks obtained less than 60. Why we are interested in remaking this table? Because the question only demands that table. Question asks that tell us the total number of students who have scored less than 45 marks. So the table will also be containing that way of column. Fine, no? This way of writing the table is called as cumulative frequency table. So I'm writing down if I will be keep on adding the previous number of students and so on. Okay, so we will be seeing that how we are going to solve this question. So here is the question which we are going to start solving. So the same way we have written down that, so the table is getting reconstructed with the column where the column will be having the total number of students less than some marks, 40 marks, 50, 60, 70 and so on. So less than 40 marks, yes, 31 students, less than 50 marks, we keep on adding the previous number of students, fine, no? And then in this way we have got that less than 80 marks, total 190 students. Okay. So it is always better to use the interpolation method to solve this question, because what is interpolation? We have discussed that the interpolation is the process where we want to know that what is the value of some unknown point when some given point values are present. Fine, no? We want to know that how many number of students getting less than 45 marks. So this is much easier if we will be using interpolation method. But whether we have to use Newton's forward interpolation method or Newton's backward interpolation method, that will depend on the unknown number which they are asking, whether this number is near to your x naught or it is near to xn. Fine, now that these things we have discussed. So since we are seeing that the number 45 is very near to my very first number 40, so we are going to use Newton's forward difference table. Fine. So here is the Newton's forward difference table, and again we will not discuss how to make this table because we have discussed it in details in the previous classes. Fine, no? This x denotes that less than some marks, okay, less than x marks. How many students, this fx will be what? How many students have got less than x marks? How many students have got less than 40 marks? How many students have got less than 50 marks? Now we are going to find the delta y. Delta y will be difference between these two entries, and again the difference between third and second entry, then the difference between these two entries and difference between these two entries, and always we write the difference in between them, otherwise the table will be very confusing. So we are saying that still the differences are there, so we will add one more column. This column will be what? Delta 2y. Delta 2y will contain what? The difference between 51 and 42, then 35 and 51, which is negative, that is also okay, then 31 minus 35, which is my minus 4. Fine, so these things we have discussed in all the previous classes, so these things we are knowing. Fine, so finally we have reached till delta 4y. Okay, single entry is there, so we are stopping here only, and then this forward difference table we make Because we want to know what is leading forward differences. Delta y naught, which is 42, delta 2 y naught is 9, delta 3 y naught is minus 25, and delta 4 y naught is 37. So we are interested in these leading forward differences only. Why? Because my step 1 says that I have to make the difference table and then I have to get these leading forward differences. My step 2 says what? Do you remember? My step 2 says that I have to use the formula of forward interpolation and then we will just put the values there. Fine. The step 2 is what? We will find F45 by applying Newton's forward interpolation formula. This formula is well known to us. Okay. And this is your R. R is what? X minus X naught by H. Fine. And then we are putting the values there. So what is my X? X is the point where we are interested in finding out the value. So the point which is given to us. So 45 is given to us. That means how many students have scored less than 45? So this 45 is my X. Now X naught is very first entry of X column. So this is 40. H is what? Difference between the different instances of X. Fine, no? So these things, I think you know that what I am talking about. So these are 10. Okay. So now we got finally what is R. R is 0.5. Now I'm just going to put these all values in this formula and then we have got it. This is my 31. 31 is what? 31 is y naught. Fine. And then we are just writing down all those values. Fine. So these values if we have put, so finally we have got this F45 is 47.86. So 47.86 is what? Total number of students who have got marks less than 45. Okay, so we have to make it into whole number. So 47.86 can be written as 48 because this is more than 5. So we are writing down nearly 48. So the answers are actually approximate. Fine. So we got that the number of students obtaining less than 45 marks is 48. Okay. One question which always comes in a student's mind, that what if they had asked in the paper that what is the number of students obtaining more than 45? Fine. So many students ask this question, that what if they are asking more than 45? So in that case, what should we do? The logic says that if I have to know more than 45 marks, if I have to solve, then what we will do? So here see, so what does it mean? This column says that total 31 students have scored marks between 70 to 80. Okay, so instead of making the table for less than 45 or less than X marks, okay, less than X marks, instead of this table, we will be, in that case, we will be making the table for greater than X marks. That means this we will start from here. That means this column will be saying that total number of students, which are 31, they have got marks greater than 70. Fine, no? So this is greater than 70. So now how many students have got greater than 60? So that will be 35, because 35 students have got marks between 60 to 70. That means greater than 60, but more students have got even more marks. So it will be your 35 plus 31. So it will be your 35 plus 31 students, correct? No, 35 plus 31 students have got marks more than 60. Similarly, the same way you will be writing here, correct? No, so this will be how much? More than 50. How many students have scored more than 50? So 51 plus 35 plus 31, you will be writing down in this fashion. Okay, this way we will be rewriting the table, okay, and then we will start solving the question. Fine. Now, the second question is what they are asking, that total number of students who have obtained marks between 40 and 45. Okay, how to solve this question? If I have already made one table where the entries are containing the marks less than 40, less than 50, less than 60 and so on here. So here, so if I'm making one, if I have made already one table, they are asking that students who have got marks between 40 to 45. Okay, between 40 to 45. I need to know that how many students have scored marks less than 40. I need to know how many students have scored marks less than 45. and then difference between these two values will be the answer. Suppose here in the number system, if I am writing down, suppose starting from here, right, 30, then 40, okay, then 50, then 60, then 70, and so on. Okay, some data is given between 30 to 40, some more data is given between 40 to 50, some more data is present between 50 to 60. Okay, now I want to know that what is the data present between 40 to 45. So how I will know? One method is what? If I will come to know that what is the total data which is from the lowest entry from 30 to 45, correct? No. So what is the data between 30 to 45? And if I come to know that what is the data between 30 to 40, right now between 30 to 40, so in that case, if I will subtract from this amount of data and then this amount of data, then I will be getting that what is the data between 40 to 45. So same thing we are doing here also. So we are writing down here that we need to find F45 minus F40. So F40 is 31 by data, the very first column, and F45 we have got, correct? No, F45 was 47.8 something, so we have made it as 48. So 48, then we are writing 48 minus 31, that means 17. So the number of students scoring marks between 40 and 45 is 17. Okay, so this way we solve the questions which are given in the some interval or some ranges. Okay, now we will be seeing the second question. So estimate the probable number of persons in the age group 20 to 25 years from the following table. Okay, so here some entries are there, that income per day under 10. Okay, under 10, that means less than 10. So less than 10, but this entry should not be income per day. This we can write that age. Okay, this might be age, so this must be age. Okay, so that means under 10 age, total number of persons 20, between 10 to 20 total number of persons are 45, and so on. Okay, so the same way we have to solve here. So this is what? Less than 10, correct? No, so the age is less than 10, then the number of persons are 20. Same method we are going to follow, because the reason is we have to make the table in the same way, the way they are asking the question. If we will analyze little bit the question, what the question demands, they are saying that they want us to know the number of persons in the age group 20 to 25. Okay, that means if we will be able to write down that total number of persons less than 25 years. Okay, that means what I'm saying, that total, if I'll come to know, similarly I'll come to know total number of persons less than 20 years. Okay, and then if I will subtract between these two values, so I will be getting the answer of this question. Fine. So same thing we are going to do here. So again, you just focus that what I am going to do here. I'm interested in knowing that how many persons are there who are less than 20 years, who are less than 25 years, who are less than 30 years, and so on. Fine. So we are going to rewrite this table where the first row will be having what? That is less than 10 years. The very first column is straightforward. If you are writing under 10 or under 10 or less than 10, this is straightforward 20. Okay, between 10 to 20 means what? That means that 45 people are actually between the age group 10 to 20. So if I will be interested in knowing that total number of persons who are less than 20 years, so in that case what I have to do, the same way I have to write that 45 plus 20. Fine, no, because this 45 is between 10 to 20, but 20 more are there. Correct, no, because if they are less than 10, 9, 8, that is also less than 20. So less than 20 is nothing but these 20, these 20 plus this 45. That means these many persons are actually less than 20 years. And the same way we will be writing, fine. So this is called as cumulative frequency table. Okay, so the same thing we are writing here, less than 10 years, total 20 is the number, less than 20 years 20, and then we are adding 20 in 45, and similarly we are keep on adding these things in the entry. Okay, so we got here. Finally, F25 minus F20 will give us the number of persons in the age group 20 to 25. Okay. Now again, whether we have to use Newton's forward difference table or Newton's backward difference table, it all depends that what unknown value they are asking. They are asking the age group between 20 to 25, and 20 to 25 is actually in your first half of the table. So better to go for Newton's forward difference table. So if you are opting Newton's backward difference table, that also is okay. You will get the answer, you will get the correct answer, but it will be the very expensive with respect to calculation. So better to follow this method, that if the given number is near to the first half of your table, then go for Newton's forward interpolation method. If the given number is towards the second half of the table, then go for the Newton's backward interpolation method. Okay, so we are writing down Newton's forward difference table. So Newton's forward difference table is what? So very first entry is for x, that is less than 10. This means what? That is less than 10 years. How many persons are there who are less than 10 years? So this is what? So this is 20. So 20 persons are less than 10 years, and then less than 20 is 65, and whatever we have calculated we have written down here. And then after that I don't have to explain it again. We know that how to move forward. How many columns will get added right now, even I don't know right now, because I have to keep on getting the differences between them. Okay, and the difference always we will be writing down in between these two things, otherwise it will be very confusing. So still I can see that differences are there. So again I will get another column, that will be your delta 2y. So delta 2y has these many entries. Again we see that the differences are still there, so we will again go for one more column. So one more column will be delta 3y. Again we see that both are not same, so and they are not single entry, so we will again add one more column, so it will be delta 4y. So since these two entries are not same, we are going to subtract again. So don't worry if you are getting negative answer also. That means how you have got minus 215? You are writing down minus 190 minus 25. This has given you minus 215. So because the all values are real numbers, so don't worry if you are getting positive, negative, zero, anything, that is okay. Fine. So the step 1 is done. So we are interested in very first entry of these delta y, delta 2y, delta 3y, delta 4y. So we got them. Fine. And then r is what? R we are going to calculate. Fine. Y naught is 20. So these all entries we know how to put. Fine. R is x minus x naught by h. X is the value what we are interested in. We want to know that what is F25, because F20 we know. Fine, no? F25 we want to know. So we got, this is my R. Fine. Now I'm going to put all those values here, and finally I got 107.15. What is this 107.15? That is your F25. F25 is what? That total number of persons who have age below 25. Okay, so 107.15, I should make it in the whole number. So I'm writing down here, this is nothing but nearly 107, 107 only, because this is 0.15, so I'm writing it 107. Okay, so this is your 107, and by data we know that F20 is 65. So finally we are subtracting these two values, and we got the number of persons in the age group 20 to 25 is 42. So this way we calculate the application questions of Newton's forward or backward interpolation. And the next class we are going to see the interpolating polynomial. So if you find this class useful, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.